Good morning. Come on in. Good morning, good morning. Come on, come on, come on. Good morning, good morning. I am not going to be long. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Come on in, come on in. Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds, and then I'm going to jump right into this. I assure you that I will not be long, but this is my favorite. Good morning, Chastity. Good morning, Kevin. This is one of my favorite segments to do. It is Get the Real on real estate. And so I just simply answer the real estate questions that you have posed. For those of you that don't know, my name is Whitney B. Hampton. I am the owner of LKM Enterprises, where we specialize in helping millennials create legacies of wealth by making home ownership a reality within 90 days or less. We seek to educate and to inspire. And so we do that through weekly podcasts. We have one on Wednesday called Wealth Building Wednesday. And then, of course, we do this short segment on Fridays, Get the Real on real estate. We have monthly newsletters as well as quarterly seminars to answer all of your questions about real estate. So this morning, I'm going to jump right into it and answer these looming questions for you. So one person asked, is now a good time to buy? Yes, right? Yes and no. Okay. So it's totally dependent on your individual circumstances. So there are some things that are in the real estate environment or real estate industry. Hey, Kelvin, good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in, Darius and Quincy. So one thing that helps universally make people feel like now is a good time to buy are going to be low mortgage rates, right? So right now we are seeing unprecedented and lower interest rates for mortgages than we've seen. And your mortgage is composed of your principal on the loan, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, and your interest rate. So that helps to determine how much your mortgage is going to be per month. So yes, locking in those low mortgage rates and purchasing now is an awesome thing to do. So yes, that's one reason why now is a great time to buy. But we also have to look at our individual circumstances. So if you have a job where you're earning, good money, you are an essential worker, you are not in fear of losing that job, then yes, now is a great time to jump on those interest rates and jump out into the market. If you're someone that has recently lost their job, or you know that there's a chance that you may be put in a position where you have to take less hours or your income is going to be lower, then we may want to pause and at least create a plan before we jump into the market. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And that kind of brings me to our next question, which was, how do you choose a real estate broker? So there are a number of different factors and things that I want you to consider when thinking about who to make your real estate broker. One of them being experience, right? So how many transactions has that broker closed? What is their network? So who else do they know? Good morning, Shatoya. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Good morning, Larita. Good morning, Ed. So how many transactions have they closed? What type of network do they have? So do they have experienced loan officers? Do they have experienced home inspectors? Do they know contractors that can come in and do work if necessary? That's one thing. The other thing is, what do they specialize in and what are you looking to do? So each broker has a specialty, right? So my specialty is that I deal with first-time home buyers, I create budgets for them. I also deal with investors. So I have a financial background. I've got a finance degree from DePaul. So that really helps me on the number side. So that's my specialty. So if you're a first-time home buyer or you're an investor, then, I'm the broker for you. So asking your broker what their specialties are. The other thing that you want to pay attention to is character and referrals, right? So ask, who have you assisted, and ask if you can reach out to them. That is a huge thing. All realtors are not created equal. Some people are in this strictly for a check, and other people are not so transactional. It's about building a relationship. They really care about making sure that you're getting into a home that you can keep, or creating a real investment opportunity for you. So purchasing a multi-unit where you can see, good morning, Dominique and Jordan. Thank you guys for tuning in. Creating an opportunity for you to see real income and earn money while you're purchasing property, right? So those are some of the things that you want to pay attention to. Pay attention especially to character, though. You can tell when someone's salesy or when they're really caring and really concerned about you and your welfare. Buying a property is usually one of the biggest investments that you'll make. So you want to be very selective with who you have assisting you with that process, right? Another question that we had is, how do I get into a rental property with little money? Okay, so there are a number of ways to invest in property, right, that can be income generating. You can purchase a multi-unit building, which means that it's either a 2 to 4 flat if it's residential. So you can live in one and then you can rent out the others, which can assist with either paying the entire mortgage or at least paying a portion of that. Or you can do what we call fix and flips, or you can do a fix and hold and then rent it out. So if you do not have the ability to get pre-approved for property and are able to get like a turnkey property, which means that you move right into it, then there are alternative options, which are like purchasing a tax lien property. That's usually a much lower amount for property. You also have the opportunity to purchase foreclosed properties or REOs. So again, it's just really important that you get with an experienced real estate agent and devise a plan for what's going to work for you and your income level. I see that there's a question on my screen, so I'm just going to answer that. Hold on. Okay, so Shatoya just said that she's seen on the internet that because of Corona, a lot of lenders are pushing up their requirements for FICO scores, as well as their requirements, and some are even suspending loans. So is that true? Yes. Now, I talked about this last week. Previously, you could purchase a property at a 580 credit score with little money down. A lot of people push that as real estate agents. I've always required that my clients have at least a 620 credit score. I think it's important that you build up discipline when you are looking to purchase a property, because there are a lot of responsibilities that come with purchasing. And so you want to be ready. You don't want to just get into a property only to foreclose on it in a year. So mentally, financially, you want to be ready for the responsibilities that are going to come. Now, that is a requirement. Okay, so most lenders have made it, if it's an FHA loan, that you have to at least have a 620. Some, like Chase Bank, pushed it to 700. There are some that are saying 660. That is very true. And why is that? Because FHA has always been considered a riskier loan for lenders, not for the buyers, but for lenders. And why is that? Because their standards are less strict. So you can have a higher debt to income ratio. You can make less money. So there are a number of factors that allow for people to be approved for an FHA loan that may otherwise not be approved for, say, a conventional loan or other types of loans. So because of that, lenders are trying to make those standards a little bit higher to ensure that those loans don't default. Okay? Just as important as it is for you to purchase a property, it's important to that lender that they're able to see a return on the money that they're handing out. And so if you've got a higher credit score, that's usually indicative of you take priority in paying your bills on time. And so they feel like they can trust you. But I still have tons of lenders that I'm working with that will absolutely approve you at a 620. So again, that's why real estate brokers are important, because we have the resources. I am your plug. So I hope that answered your question, Toya. Thank you so much. If you guys have questions, you can put them right on the screen. The next question that I had was, how are closings being handled? So like everything else in real estate, everything else in the world, real estate has, of course, been affected by the coronavirus. So some of the things that we're doing differently are virtual showings. For our closings, we are having attorneys become the POA for loans. So instead of you as the buyer going into the title company, signing all of the papers by hand, and your attorney sitting next to you explaining what each document means, what happens is you're actually on a Zoom with the attorney. The attorney is signing the documents, explaining to you what these documents are that they're signing. And that is being, and you're actually either sitting outside of the title company on the Zoom, or maybe you're, even at work, but you are not being allowed into title companies. Some, they're calling those curbside closings. Some other changes that are being made with closings, of course, no one is allowed in the title company at all. As far as realtors, family members. So of course there's not the celebrations that we're used to. So those are just some of the changes, even with the buying part of it, right? So some places, if it's occupied, we are not allowed to go inside and show you the property. So we're doing what we call virtual showings. So some people are purchasing property based on totally video. And then after it's been put under contract, and once it's time for that home inspection, then you can actually go into the property and see, kind of put your hands on what you're purchasing. So I hope those were all the questions that were submitted to me. And then Toya, also, I hope I answered your question. Miss Francis, I answered your question earlier. Thank you so much for tuning in. So that's all I have for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you find these tips and these segments to be useful, please remember to hit that share button and let everyone else know who they can come talk to about real estate. Who's gonna give them the real on real estate? Whitney B. Hampton. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome day and an awesome weekend. Again, continue to be encouraged. In spite of everything that's going on, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we are going to get through this. We are better together. So keep striving, keep fighting, keep pushing. Bye.